What's crackin', bowlers? Chris Beans here with Bowlers Rant, bringing you a not-so-secret update from Storm Bowling. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons and turn on those notifications. Helps the algorithm, helps the channel grow, and I do appreciate your support of the channel. Took 2 months off, just celebrated 5 years of doing ball videos yesterday on May 7th. Today is May 8th, and all the information has dropped on this brand new benchmark. Check this out. This is the Storm Ion Pro. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. There is a lot to talk about today, and if you missed yesterday's video, I'm going to give you a link where you can catch up on it in the interwebs, where you can catch up on all the stuff, watch people throw it, watch all the specs. But I'm going to go through a condensed version of that today and give you everything you need to know about this ball. And guess what? It's asymmetric. It's got the good stuff. It's what you want. That's right. You know, over to the interwebs. While I'm loading this up, the late and great Mo Pinnell once coined the term benchmark asym, and this is exactly where this ball fits. It is asymmetric, but it's not so crazy asymmetric that it's going to go off the charts. And this is one of those tour balls that's, because it's asymmetric, that's going to give you a lot of flexibility in shaping your experience with this bowling ball. So, what do we got for today? All right. So, the good news is it's got something familiar about the cover stock because you're talking about the TX16 cover stock. You've seen that on the Phase 2. What you haven't seen is the hybrid version, which is what this thing has, okay? So for them, for Storm, the Ion Pro is what they're talking about, where they're marrying up something of a benchmark that's in IQ Tour territory, but it's got that Phase 2 strong cover stock. So they're calling this the first asymmetric bowling ball ever designed by Storm Bowling. Hence my coinage of referencing what Mo said as the benchmark asym. All right, cool. Now, here's what's really cool about it. TX16 hybrid cover stock, right? That's a really big deal, okay? And it's got 4,000 grit Abalone out of the box. Now, when I looked at this in the video, it looked closer to 2,000, but then again, what comes from the factory and what you see on your pads at home are a very big difference. And this thing is asymmetric, okay? Now, let's talk about some numbers. The numbers at 15 pounds, 2.47 RG with an 0.35 differential, no 0.014 asymmetric differential. So, translation, this is low RG. It starts up early. It's got a controlled amount of flare, so it's not high diff. It's lowish to medium diff is what I would call it. You know, 030 and below is what I would call low diff, but it's low enough. But the 0.014 asymmetric differential, this is the sweet spot. This is where the secret sauce is to me, where anything from 0.11 to 0.16 is that versatile usability you get for asymmetric equipment. Now, even cooler is this brand new core, okay? We've got the elemental core. I think that's what they call it. So you got let's take a tour, right? So you got a very different core shape here, right? And Alex Hoskins was talking about this, that if you're a thumb bowler or a no thumb bowler, it doesn't matter. You're still going to be able to manipulate this core shape to give you a variety of different reactions on the lane, but you're still going to get some punch, and you're going to be able to use it in a variety of different conditions, and you're going to be able to tune the surface. So they're building you basically a benchmark, a piece of equipment with a high quality cover that's going to give you versatility all over the planet. So translation to that is sports shot, house shot, granny shot, pick your favorite shot, and you are off into the races, okay? Also notably absent from here is the design intent, and I think the reason why is because they've got this Explore More button, which takes you to an entirely different section dedicated to the new Ion Pro. Also, they have in here the drilling instructions, right? So this is really cool because a lot of people always ask me, which layout should I go with? Well, if you are a VLS person, you need to go check out this link that's in the on the Ion Pro. It comes down here. It's the last link on the page. It's called Drilling Instructions PDF. Download that, take a look at it, talk to your pro shop operator if you want some help on doing layouts. Now, this next section, and then we're going to watch a video of Alex throwing it, this part on the site where they've got an entire section dedicated just to the Ion Pro. You know, and there's some marketing stuff here, tour level, maximum control and forgiveness. That's true because you have a drill angle instead of a fixed preferred spin axis being in the thumb hole. You can get this thing to go a little longer or a little earlier by reducing that drill angle. I'm a dual angle layout guy, so that's the way I like to talk about it. Pin to patch will always be standard, and then if you're a pin buffer or a valve person, I like valves. And that also combined with the other two numbers gives you a lot of the ability to manipulate the ball motion. The charged up video live stream that they did is here, but I'm also going to create a link in the video description as I talked about. And they're really talking about this being kind of just the next big benchmark. So enough of the talking about it. Let's watch this real quick. So here's Alex Hoskins throwing the Ion Pro. I don't know how he's got this drilled, and this is on a sport condition. It's very flat. He's wheeling it out and it's coming back. It's not going sideways, right? But this isn't, it's not like he's got a lot of hold on this either, right? So this is really cool, right? I like this reaction. I don't like stuff that goes sideways. And I'm noticing he's putting a little bit of axis rotation on it, and it's not just going crazy, to the pocket. So this is giving you that versatility, first ball out of the bag to tell you what's going on with the pattern and if you need to ball up or ball down. Now, here's one more shot. Look at this. It's getting some really good carry even on the light hits, right? I think this one was something else he was throwing. Now, let's go over to minute 17. We're going to watch Gio throwing this. He's the QA manager over there at Storm. I really like Gio, by the way. And he throws a truck of a ball himself. They put him on a longer pattern, right? So it's a little more oil. And so he's going to be a little bit further right than where Alex was. But they also said it was going to be pretty flat. So not a lot of forgiveness. And here he goes, right? He's throwing it. He's got a bit truck of a ball considering he's using his hand, right? He's got a good look. Now, I don't know if he threw these all back to back because even though this was a live event, this was all basically pre-recorded content. So no big deal there. Everybody does it. But I like this, right? He's coming up the back of it a little bit more, but he's still feeding it out there. This thing's getting into all three phases of ball motion, and you can watch this thing check up and go right through the pocket. Looking sharp. I really like that. Now, let's talk about shelf appeal, my favorite part of the review. What do I think about this? I like this new icon. I like the fact that it looks like it's got some sheen. If I'm being picky, I would have liked to see a little bit of a brighter color instead of red, but I also love red and it's my favorite. So I think I give this a solid B+ on shelf appeal. It looks really good, and I think a lot of people are going to know what this ball is when it sits on the rack. And if it performs as well as what Storm is pushing it as, then it's going to be one of those balls that prints money, breaks the internet, and everybody's going to be doing the reviews in a few weeks and telling you it hits like a truck. But ultimately what matters is how does it do on the tour and how does it do for you on the lanes? Brings us to the end. Oh, there's my keyboard. Brings us to the end of this video. A couple things to think about. Number one, do I think this is the next big benchmark for Storm? I was thinking that they were going to do something like the Immortal IQ Tour, and the reason for that is because in the design intent of the Lightning Blackout, they referenced the Lightning core as having the same numbers as the Immortal IQ, and I read into that when I shouldn't have. Okay, so is this the next benchmark? Yes. Is it going to replace the IQ? I don't think you can ever replace the IQ. That's just ridiculous talk. The IQ is the GOAT of getting to the pocket, and Luke Rosedal's covered that extensively. And I'm looking forward to seeing the reviews that Charles Hutchinson's going to do over at the Hype, comparing this to some of the other, balls in this class. You guys need to watch the Hype. That guy really has some really solid content. But ultimately, it's up to you. What do you think about this? Do you like the shelf appeal? Do you like the way it went down the lane? Do you like the fact that it's asymmetric? Drop me a comment, and as usual, let's continue the conversation. And if you want to learn more about this ball, I've got some links in the video description where you can pick it up and where you can catch up on the 1 hour live stream. More updates to come, and until then, thanks for watching.